Been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. On first down, Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
This is Lamar Miller, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. It's Aaron Williams on the stop. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now let's go.
Now Osweiler on second down. And he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Here's the 11 starters on defense for Buffalo, and the new coaching staff really coming in. They can look at two numbers, kind of yin and yang. They're good against the pass, 6th in the league, 29th, though, against the run.
Well, if you look at this new coaching staff that has taken over in Buffalo and trace their past, it starts with them stopping the run, because they are a very aggressive, blitz-happy type of a group, but it only begins with stopping the run first. So I expect that number to improve in 2017 for Buffalo.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Old school defensive tackle play dictated just stood up and danced with the guy in front of you. And if a guy came near, tackle him. New school, you don't want to just dance. You want to get past him, get upfield, and make the play in the backfield. A big-time play there. Brandon, if I told you in preseason that DeAndre Hopkins would have less than 1,000 receiving yards, would you have looked at me funny?
I would have. He's coming off a 1,500-yard season, and he's gotten better each and every year through the first 3.
And they have weapons around him now. Will Fuller can stretch the field. Braxton Miller, when they get him back healthy, he can fly as well. They got Lamar Miller as a running back in free agency. They've got people who can stretch things open and get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins in open field, but he had a connection that wasn't very good with his quarterbacks this season.
And by the way, Charles, touchdown production dropped big time too. 11 last season, 4 this year.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Hey, give them credit. That's a good, solid gain there in the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
This opening drive has taken them to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go.
This time, Osweiler a throw. And got his man. It's Clark. Touchdown, Houston. Their big tight end, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is good. This one away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. They'll come out in the pistol.
Let's go. 1-9.
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know the object for us when we call games is to be neutral, but I have to tell you, I am rooting so hard for Sammy Watkins to have an injury-free next season, just to see everything that he can do and give himself the best opportunity so that we can see it.
Yeah, over the last 2 years, he's missed 11 games. It's tough. The one bright spot for him, though, his Clemson Tigers did win the national championship.
Yeah, I think that's going to give him a little bit of comfort, but what he wants more than anything, a healed foot and a chance to be the #1 receiver he was drafted to be.
And Buffalo wants that, too. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Taylor, he's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Come on, let's go.
To throw again is Taylor. Right side complete. That's Woods. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Time running out here on the play clock. On 3rd down, Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete. Charles Clay is tied in the intended target, and it brings up 4th down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go.
Taylor with a give to McCoy. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. For McCoy this year, 5th time in his 8-year career that he's topped the 1,000-yard mark. Charles, first time he's done it with the Bills, though, finished with 1267.
And he's the type of player that you can build around. And what I mean by that is, as a runner, as a pass catcher, he does a little bit of everything, and he opens up the offense for everyone else around him, the complementary players. But he's a guy, heavy-duty ball carrier, and also get him in space, and he can break people down.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure on him.
On second down, it's McCoy. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Let's go. 1, 9.
On 3rd and goal, Taylor. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Reggie Bush from 10 yards out. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he puts it through. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with
Here we
it?
go.
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 5.
2nd and 10 now. Osweiler. Deep drop. Now he'll escape to his left. And this one complete to Will Fuller. So 1:55 to go in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
Detroit!
Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. Flushed out right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Let's go!
After the interception, here's Taylor. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Dan Carpenter now for the Bills field goal. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Bills have taken the lead. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 64 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the second half.
And here's Lewis. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Jadeveon Clowney in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So the D-line's going to spread out. On second down, Taylor. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now Taylor on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second and 10 now. It's Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
On third down, Taylor throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Here we go. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Let's go.
On second down, here's Taylor. And this one's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and short. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a handoff to Miller. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Detroit!
Now they'll throw it with Osweiler. Escaping the pressure right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back now in Houston, all even as we get ready to start the 4th. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Miller, the lone setback. Now they'll run it on the toss. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this third down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's Shane Leckler now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Now it's Tate. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Here's a direct snap to McCoy. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Man open right side. It's the tight end Clay. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
On 2nd down, Taylor. Got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Here's Taylor. He's got time. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And incomplete here on third down.
And there's a good opportunity to just win a ride there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a pressure kick here for Dan Carpenter. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so. But this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Leopard! Leopard! Hurry up, here we go!
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
No, check, Patriot!
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here we go. It's Osweiler on 4th down. And finding Fedorowicz. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And now it's 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
Here we go! 3-19! Leopard!
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Here we go! Good!
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gault. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long from Houston.